All right, for more on tomorrow's highly anticipated elections, we want to bring in CBS News political correspondent Ed O'Keefe. So
you ready?
Happy
election eve.
I've been ready for weeks now.
That's true.
We've been really building this up.
You talk about it more than most people.
It's a huge deal. So Georgia, definitely a race that a lot of people are watching, and we just outlined all the reasons why. But what are some of the other races?
I'd just go south of Georgia to Florida, that governor's race as well. I mean, everything in Florida is always tick-tock tight, and I think this one could be especially. And what effect it has on the contentious Senate race in that state between Bill Nelson and the outgoing governor, Republican Rick Scott. Plus, does it help Democrats if Andrew Gillum is driving out voters to pick up some House seats down there as well? They are looking at least 2, maybe as many as 5 or 6 on a really exceptional night for Democrats.
Right. They go out to participate in the governor's race and then just sort of...
And they just work their way down the ballot.
Right.
If you're going west, I'd keep an eye on the Missouri Senate race, another one that's very close. Questions there about whether Claire McCaskill can hold on or whether that state has become so Republican that Josh Hawley takes it from Democrats. And going west, how many Democratic seats do California voters give the Democratic Party? That's a weird way of saying it. How many did pick up there? You look at that map there. There are what, 8? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 that we consider competitive. Do Democrats get all of them? Do they get most of them? Either way, that by the time polls close and votes are counted in California, it's likely padding or helping complete whatever Democrats need to get. Remember, they need to net 23 seats if they're going to retake the majority. Republicans hope to stop them along the way. California really is that last chance to do it.
Okay. So we already know that there's been robust early voting. We ran a package earlier today where there were sort of lineups. People were waiting an hour and a half to vote early. What does that tell us, though? Or can we glean any information from that? Who's coming out? Does it even matter?
Well, we shouldn't, because you know, a vote is a vote is a vote, whether it's cast on a Monday or a Tuesday and counted on a Tuesday night.
But sometimes people look at early voting, Democrats are voting, or Republicans.
Right. No, they overanalyze it, because just the only way you can really count up early voting is A, how many people did it, and B, their party registration. But just because you're a registered independent or a registered Republican or a registered Democrat doesn't tell us how you actually voted.
True.
So you got to wait till Tuesday night, Wednesday morning to figure that out. But in state after state after state, we know that we're seeing more young voters, more women, healthy turnout among minorities. Those are the elements that Democrats need in several different states to show up, because those are the people that don't normally show up in midterm years. So if they have somehow convinced women, millennials, Black and Hispanic voters to show up, that may be the key to victory.
Right.
But don't read too much into this stuff, because the only thing that matters is what we're counting tomorrow night.
Okay, that's a good reminder. Issues. You know, the president has been out. Of course, he's been talking a lot over the past couple of weeks about the caravan and immigration. But, you know, his last couple of rallies, he's also been bringing up how healthy the economy is, which is what, you know, a lot of people have argued that's what we really care about.
Right.
That's what the voting public cares about. Of course, the former president, Barack Obama, has been out as well, sort of campaigning kind of against Trump or against the administration specifically. So what are the issues, though, that people really care about? What are the issues that's going to get them to come out?
We know from more than a year of polling that health care now is a top concern, especially in these House races across the country. People want to make sure that things like protections for their pre-existing conditions are maintained. And Republicans generally now understand that their assault on the Affordable Care Act, or their attempts to tweak it, whatever you want to call it, didn't work. Even Martha McSally, the Republican Senate candidate out in Arizona last week, said that she's getting her butt kicked over this issue in a state where it's a big concern, given the senior population, the working population out there that relies on their health care. Immigration, yes, remains a big concern to both parties, especially the Republican base, and that's why the president has focused so much on it. It worked for him 2 years ago. He's thinking it'll help his Republican colleagues as well. But the economy, because it's doing so well and people want it to continue doing so, is one that Republicans running for House seats especially, and governorships, want to see the president and their party overall focused on. 3.7% unemployment is a 49-year low, 250,000 jobs created last month. Growth remains in pretty good shape.
It's worth bragging about.
Why wouldn't you be talking about that?
Yeah.
But he has been focused on other things, and those that run House campaigns have been saying the president is leaving votes on the table if he continues that focus on immigration. People know that's a problem, but it's a very sensitive issue. Why not remind them of some good news that Republicans believe they're responsible for?
But it doesn't seem like the president's strategy in these final days is to sort of win people over.
No.
I mean, he's sticking to his base.
Yes.
He's going to states where he's very popular. And so, and you know, we ran those numbers a little bit earlier where we said the overwhelming majority of Republicans felt that the caravan was a danger,
Yes.
was a concern, and the sort of polar opposite for Democrats. He's not trying to get new votes. He's just trying to make sure that the people who support him will make it to the polls.
And he's so focused on the Senate races in states that have predominantly Republican populations that he figures, why not?
Right.
I was in line with voters in Indiana on Friday where the president was speaking. I'd ask him an open-ended question. What's the most important issue to you? Every single one of them said the immigration and that caravan. So it proves the president's strategy, at least when it comes to base voters, is working.
It's working. Ed O'Keefe, thank you so much.
Take care.